Welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog. And today we're going to be talking about when things just feel like they're getting on top of you. So please remember that the Runpreneur vlog is part of the bigger picture, which is the Runpreneur Challenge, which is our fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. So if you want to find out how to support the challenge and what it's all about, please check the links in the comments below. And without further ado, let's get started. So, today's episode is all about, when you start to feel that things are just getting a bit on top of you, the world is closing in. How do you deal with that? Well, running is a massive part of that for me, for dealing with the daily pressures and stresses of life, because we all have busy lives. It's just relative to each of our personality types. What constitutes busy for one may not be for another, but that doesn't mean that isn't busy. And there comes a lot of pressure, a lot of stress with day-to-day life, and you generally find peaks and troughs in your life, and there are key events that can heighten a sense of overwhelm or a sense of stress and anxiety. And I personally feel like I'm going through one at the moment, to be honest with you. And I'm normally pretty resilient to this stuff. I've conditioned myself over the years, but sometimes just so many things are happening simultaneously that you do fall back into the trap of feeling like you're spinning plates, and that at some point you're going to drop one, and it's a scary prospect. Well, in my life at the moment, there's quite a few things happening in the business. I wouldn't say it's bad, it's not necessarily good either, but there's some key decisions which are holding back the direction of how we take the business forward, and we're waiting for these decisions to come in from our kind of key stakeholders, and it does have a massive impact on the planning stage and also managing other stakeholders' expectations when you're waiting for the knock-on effect of a decision from one that can affect so many others. So balancing that and kind of managing those relationships has been notoriously challenging, added to the fact we've just got a potential partnership going through with an amazing partner that we're just about to launch a whole new business model. Not a whole new one, but slightly tweaked version of an old business model, but with a partner who we believe will take away all the weak points that we previously experienced. So getting that over the line, all these things is challenging as well. There's lots of other things going on in some of the other businesses that have required my attention when normally they wouldn't do. So that's pulling me in that department. Secondly, or thirdly, fourthly, I've had to move out of my house for a week whilst extensive renovations carry on. We're having an extension done and the whole house is remodelled inside, and we're having to move out for a week while they take down ceilings and all sorts of stuff going on, knocking walls down and stuff. And you feel that you need to be there, making sure things are going smooth, because it's your house ultimately, and you're trusting builders in there as well. I've also got my eldest son struggling with long COVID. He's been poorly now for about 6 weeks. Hugely stressful on the household, so having to manage that. Obviously, the wife and the rest of the kids and everybody's moved in with the in-laws, so I'm living with the in-laws again, which is it's not ideal. I mean, living with anyone's not ideal when you're so used to your own personal space. And then I'm working from my parents as well, who've got some office space that I'm using. So it's just, the demands of life are so extreme. I've just come through the back end of a crazy busy running season with some massive events that I've run. Ultra marathons, London Marathon, world record attempts, and all the aftermath and the social media requirements that's required of me as well. And I'm tired as well. All this running, 510 days or so today, I'm just tired, and all these added extra stresses and pressures aren't helping. So that's kind of what's going on in my life. So you'd think a lot of it's positive. Some of it, obviously, health-wise, of my family is a bit negative, but hopefully we'll come through that. But how do I deal with it? Normally, this running just clears my head, enables me to stay focused and deal with things. But at the moment I have to keep reminding myself to only worry about things I can control. So there's lots of things that are going on. If I can't control them, why worry about them? Because that's going to have no positive bearing on the outcome. So I always tell myself that, and I try and take a step back, especially on my runs, and look at the situation and say, but what are the facts? What do I factually know about the situation? Okay, now, and then once I've processed that, what's the logical next step? Or is there any, or am I just waiting for a response? If you're waiting for a response, okay, well I might chase a response up after a number of days, but there's no point worrying about what that response is going to be. Just diarise it and make it factual that every 3 days I'm going to chase something up, especially if you're project managing something. So when I do that and I look at my oldest who's struggling with long COVID, which is the biggest stress on my life, because obviously when any of your children are poorly, the worry stakes goes significantly higher. But long COVID's strange, and medically all the tests and everything we've had so far have all come back completely clear. It seems as if it's a more psychological based issue, and that's something that I'm really struggling with, how to help my son come through that. So we're sorting kind of homeopathy support. We're also hopefully going to be enrolled in the long COVID hub for children shortly, where hopefully there'll be some more psychological help. And but I'm just trying to process that and say, you know what, the fact that all the tests have come back and they're all fine, that's a good thing. I have to hold on to that, and that, you know, psychologically we can overcome this, so we just need to work on the psychological impact. But it's all these types of things that are going through my mind. It's all right when you've got one or two, but you've got so many, having to process that, having to have that same argument in your mind can be quite challenging. So I just thought I'd put it all out there today, just let you know how I'm feeling, and my process for dealing with it is quite ruthless, but facts and figures. If I can't control it, don't worry about it. Just process the facts and the figures and base my decisions without emotion on logical, rational reasoning. So hopefully some of you will resonate with me and that will help you. That's pretty much it for me today. If you've got any questions, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. Please remember that the Runpreneur vlog is part of the bigger picture, which is our Runpreneur Challenge, which is our fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. So if you want to find out what that is and how to support it, please check the links in the comments below. Thank you for your support. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you tomorrow.